Thank you, Dave. Hi, Martine.
Good morning, and welcome to the regular session of the Yuma County Board of Supervisors, also sitting as all special taxing district, April 6, 2026, 9 a.m. All the board members are present. Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Supervisor Lyons, can you please lead us? Thank you. We'll go ahead and move to call to the public. Call to the public is held for the public benefit to allow individuals to address issues within the board's jurisdiction. Board members may not discuss items that are not specifically identified on the agenda. Therefore, pursuant to Arizona Revised Statute 38-431.01H, action taken as a result of public comment will be limited to directing staff to study the matter, responding to criticism, or scheduling the matter for further discussion and decision at a future date. Public comments may be made in person or submitted by email at publiccomments@yumacountyaz.gov. The email forms of public comments will be read out loud during the Yuma County Board of Supervisors meeting that starts at 9 a.m. Desiree, do we have any emails?
We do not.
We do not, okay. And I got some speaker forms, and I'll go ahead and call one at a time. Josh?
Morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Josh Scott, Deputy County Administrator. I'm here this morning to introduce our new Chief Information Officer, Jeremy Jeffcoat. Jeremy began serving as our CIO on March 30th. Comes to us by way of the city of Yuma, where he was the IT Assistant Director, primarily responsible for the Yuma Regional Communications System. Before that, Jeremy worked for the county from 2007 to 2022, first in county ITS and then the Sheriff's Office IT department. This was a highly competitive recruitment, started with 99 applications, and after pre-screening and multiple rounds of interviews, Jeremy's public sector technology background, his education and leadership is what stood out, and we're happy to have him back at the county and in the CIO role. So I'm sure he'll get to be a familiar face here at the board meetings as he leads our efforts to modernize and better leverage technology. So, Jeremy.
Chairman Porches, members of the board, thank you for having me today. Very much looking forward to working with everyone, all the county departments and agencies and their technology initiatives, and making sure that we are reducing our risk overall as far as how we're leveraging technology and keeping everything safe.
Well, thank you, and welcome back.
Thank you.
To the county.
I appreciate that, Supervisor Reyes.
I guess everybody looks like a high schooler to me, but I mean, you do look young to have been in the county for years and then left and come back. What happened? You got to give me the key.
I'm not sure.
Welcome to the county.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you, Jeremy. Threw him off a little bit. The technological guy, you ask him tech questions and he'll answer them, but if you ask him human questions, he'll take a little time.
After serving in the county for over 40 years, everybody looks young for Tony.
40? I thought it was 50.
Plus your age. Anyways, I have Raul Castillo.
Good morning, Chairman.
Morning.
And Board. My name is Raul Castillo. I work with Smile Services. We're one of the 5 centers for independent living in Arizona. It's a nationwide network. I'm here to advocate for my consumers from rural areas, transportation. They're asking and requiring more routes as they can't reach Yuma to get their services with us, as we empower individuals with disabilities to maximize independence, and our services are free. So I don't know who to speak to, and they told me to come on over to this meeting.
Well, thank you for your concerns, and we do have someone that represents, from the county, that represents the transportation, YCAT, actually. So, well, Ian, can you get in touch with Raul, Mr.?
Yes, sir, be happy to. Be happy to talk with you. I'll get you my information.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raul.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kelly? Our Public Works Director?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm Kelly Fricky, Public Works Director, and I have with me Mike Herrera, our Waste Management Superintendent. And as you know, the county received an ADEQ grant to support our illegal dumping public awareness campaign. And Public Works has partnered with the Sheriff's Office, Development Services, and the Grants Department, with representatives from each helping plan and implement the campaign. And we currently have television ads running, billboards in place, geofencing ads, and have been at community events like the Barbecue and Brews, Midnight at Oasis, and the Fair, where we're engaging with the public. And members of the committee have also participated in interviews with Russ Clark and Jennifer Blackwell on their social media platforms. And we've also been invited to the Cocopah Indian Tribe to attend their Earth Event Day on April 15th. And we're also planning to attend the 4th of July events at Somerton and San Luis. At these events, we provide informational materials about our transfer stations, along with small promotional items to help keep the message top of mind. And we're here to give you some bags, some swag bags with the materials inside. And Mike will hand them out. But we want to thank you for your support in this campaign.
Yes, go ahead.
My mic isn't gonna, there it is. The public outreach that you've been doing, I've seen it on TV. I've seen it on those little flashing along the road. I've seen it and very much appreciate it. It's bringing awareness to something that people sometimes forget about, so.
Thank you.
thanks.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
Kelly, have we seen a decline in illegal dumping? Or are we still, aside from what's being brought in by California, have there been any other notable changes?
We just asked the Sheriff's Office last week for some numbers on illegal dumping cases, and we have not received those numbers as of yet.
Would you keep us posted?
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you.
Kelly.
Anybody else from the public that wishes to address the board?
I was hoping we were going to have some discussions on flies, or at least some comments, but it doesn't seem like we have anybody here that accepted my invitation.
Is that good? All right. We'll go ahead and move on to presentations, proclamations, and appointments. During this segment of the agenda, board members may discuss the presentations and proclamations and may announce appointments to the Yuma County Planning and Zoning Commission and the Yuma County Board of Adjustments. No legal action will be taken. And we'll move on to item number 1. Chairman proclaims the month of April 2026 to be month of the military child in Yuma County, and we have Mr. Simmons reading the proclamation.
All righty. Proclaiming the month of April 2026 as Month of the Military Child in Yuma County. Whereas military families make a significant sacrifice in service to our nation, and their children demonstrate resilience and strength in the face of unique challenges. And whereas the Month of the Military Child was established by the U.S. Department of Defense in 1986 to recognize and honor the strength, resilience, and sacrifices of military-connected children who serve alongside their parents and guardians. Whereas the Yuma County is proud to be home to vital military installations, ranges, and facilities that play a crucial role in defending our nation and supporting our armed forces. And whereas the military-connected children of our community enrich our county with their diversity, talents, and perspectives, their resilience and adaptability strengthen our schools, neighborhoods, and shared sense of community. And whereas military-connected children face frequent relocations, deployments, and separations from their loved ones, which can impact their educational experiences, social development, and emotional well-being, and it is fitting that our community ensure that they receive the support, resources, and recognition that they deserve. And whereas the Month of the Military Child serves as a reminder to all citizens to express gratitude and appreciation to military families for their sacrifice and service to our nation. Therefore, the Chairman of the Yuma County Board of Supervisors proclaims the month of April 2026 to be Month of the Military Child in Yuma County, and calls upon all residents, businesses, schools, and organizations to join in honoring and supporting military-connected children and their families throughout the month and beyond.
Thank you, Mr. Simmons. And we do have Candace Brown here. And if you want to say a few words, if not, we
I didn't know if that was an invitation to speak, but good morning. Thank you so much, Chairmen of the Board. My name is Candace Brown. I'm the School Liaison Officer at Marine Corps Air Station Yuma, and I just want to say we are very blessed to have your support this morning. We're always so grateful to have the support of our community for our military-connected students and children, from everything from opportunities for them to make friends, for them to have a positive transition to Yuma. We have so much here that our kids can get involved in, as well as a great education system that actively recognizes their needs and works to support them to the best of their ability. So we just say thank you very much this morning, and we remind everybody that April 24th is our official Purple Up Day, so if you'd like to wear purple on April 24th in support of those kiddos, we'd be grateful. So thank you.
And thank you for what you do. Thank you.
Yes.
Of course. Thank you, sir.
We'll go ahead and give you the
present it.
proclamation,
Yeah, we'll
and we can
present
take a picture.
Join me here.
Item number 2, proclaiming the week of April 19th, 25th to the 25th, 2026 to be Library Week in Yuma County. And we have Supervisor Pancrase reading the proclamation.
Well, good morning, everyone. Proclaiming the week of April 19th through the 25th, 2026 as Library Week in Yuma County. Whereas libraries spark creativity, fuel imagination, and inspire lifelong learning, offering a space where individuals of all ages can find joy through exploration and discovery. And whereas libraries serve as vibrant community hubs connecting people with knowledge, technology, and resources while fostering civic engagement, critical thinking, and cultural enrichment. And whereas libraries provide free and equitable access to books, digital tools, and innovative programming, ensuring that all individuals, regardless of background, have the support they need to learn, connect, and thrive. And whereas libraries empower job seekers, entrepreneurs, and lifelong learners by providing access to resources, training, and opportunities that support career growth and economic success. And whereas libraries nurture young minds through story times, STEM programs, and literacy initiatives, fostering curiosity and a love of learning that lasts a lifetime. Now, therefore, the week of April 19th through the 25th, 2026, is hereby proclaimed to be Library Week in Yuma County. During this week, all residents are encouraged to visit their library, explore its resources, and celebrate all the ways that the library helps our community find joy. Go get a library card.
It's a big one that we don't normally get.
Thank you.
Get a huge one.
And we have Ashley, there she is, Ashley.
Not that we can use it, but
Good morning, Chairman Porches, members of the board. I'm Ashley Jones, Library Director. Fortunately, got tongue-tied there. Unfortunately, I do not have the large one. It got damaged on an outreach recently, and they were cardboard, so I'm working on getting one made that is not cardboard, that is going to be much more withstanding of the traveling. But it'll be back, I promise. But first and foremost, thank you so much for the support that you guys continue to provide to the library district. We're so fortunate to be able to provide so many resources to our community. This week we'll have our survey out, which is where we get some feedback from the community about some of the things that they're looking for. And those surveys are very important to us. That's where we've come up with the sensory space that is about to be open for the community, is hearing feedback from things of that nature. It also lets us know what other services that we need to be looking at to bring to the community. We're in the process of revamping Storytime. We have a big unveiling that'll happen later this year to really get Storytime back to that early literacy component of what it's really meant to be. We have many other things that are coming up on the horizon. We have a grant that recently just got through that is going to bring an agriculture exhibit to our community, highlighting the innovations and scientific explorations in the agriculture community that have happened throughout the community of Yuma County. So please continue to provide your support to us, and if you have any ideas or thoughts, we're happy always to hear those and see what other things that we can bring in, but know that there's always something new and something exciting, and libraries are so much more than just books and computers these days. So thank you again for all of your support, and I promise that big library card will be back better than it was before.
Mr. Chairman. May I, anytime we do a survey about what most people like, right after the jail, because the people in jail have to say they like it. But right after jail, there's always a library. Library is always number one, and I'm really happy to say that that's been throughout the years that I've been here. Every year, the library ranks number one. So that, to me, that's significant. That means that you guys are working really hard to meet the community needs, and to me, that's important. So thank you for all the work you guys do, and go ahead and do some more.
We'll keep on top of it, don't worry.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
And we'll go ahead and give you the proclamation and take a picture.
Yo, proclamation time.
moving on to item number 3, proclaiming the month of April 2026 to be Fair Housing Month in Yuma County. And we have Supervisor Reyes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have the honor of issuing this proclamation, not issuing it, but actually reading it. So it says, whereas April 2026 marks the 58th anniversary of the National Fair Housing Act, which emphasizes a national policy of fair housing, and whereas this act under Title 8 of the Civil Rights Acts of 1968 affirms the right of all citizens to equal housing opportunities, free from discrimination based on race, color, religion, national origin, sex, disability, or familial status. And whereas implementation of the fair housing policy of Yuma County requires positive commitment, involvement, and support from each and every one of our citizens. And whereas the Board of Supervisors wishes to create equal housing opportunities for all persons living, working, traveling through, or doing business in Yuma County. And whereas a Fair Housing Month is a time set aside each year to remind citizens that not only do we have the right to own and rent property, but we also have an individual responsibility to guard that right from any infringement. Now, therefore, the month of April 2026 is hereby proclaimed to be Fair Housing Month in Yuma County. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reyes. And we have Veronica Garcia, Diana Veloz, Alex.
Good morning, Mr.
Hello,
Chairman,
Bobby.
members of the board. Diana Veloz with County Administration. I just want to say thank you so much for acknowledging April's Fair Housing Month. There is an event that we will be attending this week. It's April 8th, and it's at the Heritage Library grassy area. It's outside. It's for the Yuma Homeless Coalition, and it's from 9 to 1 that will be at that event.
If I may say so, it's been years since the county's been so involved in Yuma in the housing sector. So I appreciate all the effort you guys are making to make sure that everybody knows that there's something called the Yuma County Housing Authority. There's something called Yuma County Housing. So thank you very much for your efforts, and may you continue to do so well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And
Thank you very much.
we'll give you the proclamation and take a picture. Item number 4, proclaiming the month of April 2026 to be County Government Month, and we have Supervisor Lines.
There's always too much government, right?
Oh, boy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Sometimes not enough.
Proclaiming the month of April 2025 as Yuma County Government Month in Yuma County, whereas the nation's 3,069 counties serving more than 330 million Americans provide essential services to create healthy, safe, and vibrant communities, and whereas counties fulfill a vast range of responsibilities and deliver services that touch nearly every aspect of our residents' lives, and counties as intergovernmental partners enact local, state, and federal programs to address the needs of all residents. Yuma County and all counties take pride in our responsibilities to protect and enhance health, well-being, and the safety of our residents in an efficient, cost-effective way. Each year since 1991, the National Association of Counties has encouraged counties across the country to elevate awareness of county responsibilities, programs, and services. Now therefore, the chairman of the Yuma County Board of Supervisors proclaims the month of April 2026 as County Government Month in Yuma County and encourages all county officials, employees, schools, and residents to participate in county government celebration activities.
Thank you, Mr. Lines. And we have Jessica Rodriguez.
If it wasn't because
Good
my
morning,
singing is so
Jessica.
ugly, I would complain about yours. But mine is uglier than yours, so.
Good morning, members of the board, Chairman Porches, Jessica Rodriguez, Chief Human Resources Officer. On behalf of Yuma County, thank you for this recognition and for the opportunity to recognize Yuma County Government Month. Today is about our people, the individuals who make county government work every single day. Our employees are the foundation of everything we do, guided by our great values: growth, responsiveness, excellence, accountability, and trust, and our mission to serve a safe, healthy, and thriving community. They show up with purpose and commitment. Their impact goes far beyond job descriptions. They are the first point of contact for residents seeking help, the steady hands working behind the scenes, and the dedicated professionals responding when our community needs them most. Through their efforts, people feel welcomed, supported, and confident in the services we provide. This past year, we've taken important steps to better serve our community, including the opening of County Administration Services, which brings departments together to improve collaboration, access, and customer service. Throughout April, several county buildings will be illuminated in dark pink as a reminder of our appreciation for the work our employees do every day. To all Yuma County employees, thank you. Your dedication, professionalism, and service truly make a difference in the lives of those we serve. We appreciate you today and every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. We'll go ahead and take the picture and give you the proclamation.
I know it.
Moving on to item number 5, presentation of the Yuma County Leadership Empowerment and Development U-Lead Program graduates, and we have Naleli Flores.
I thought we were going to do more proclamations, Mr. Chairman.
That was it for the month of April.
Although that needs to hear his voice all the time. He needs to hear his voice all the time.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ellie.
Good morning, Chairman Porches and member of the board. My name is Nayeli Flores, Human Resources Training Supervisor. 9 months ago, we were here to present to you the second cohort of our Yuma County Leadership Empowerment and Development Program. I'm excited to be standing here today to present to you the graduation of our second cohort. I'm proud to showcase to you today the growth and development that our 13 graduates have achieved and would like to recognize each one. I would first like to thank our executive mentors for dedicating their time and energy over the last 9 months to help guide, coach, and mentor our graduates. A hidden bonus for U-Lead was the impact that our mentors have as well. Some mentors expressed that they too have learned a lot from this experience. We had 7 mentors this year. Robin Stallworth Poquette, Assistant County Administrator. Captain Ana Duarte, Sheriff's Department, Jessica Rodriguez, Chief Human Resources Officer, Humberto del Castillo, Chief Financial Officer, Tiffany Anderson, Facilities Management Director, Ashley Jones, Library District, and Reina Curiel, Justice Court Administrator. Over the last 9 months, 13 participants have worked endlessly by attending 21 required trainings, meeting regularly with their assigned executive mentor, and participating in monthly interactive roundtable discussions. Our graduates have expressed and displayed not only professional growth, but personal growth as well, having a positive impact on their work and personal lives, and are putting into practice their skills to foster healthy, prosperous working environments for Yuma County and courts. These graduates have completed a cumulative total of 949 training hours. There was also 45 hours of additional supplemental trainings, 139.25 hours of cumulative mentorship meetings, 10.5 hours of 7 roundtable discussions. The total program engagement or investment was 1,143.75 hours. Final presentations were held on March 23rd at the main library. As part of their curriculum, participants had to prepare and present on a specific topic related to leadership. I would like to thank Dave Nash and his team and his communications team for being present to capture this milestone event. I would now like to bring up 2 graduates that have volunteered to share their experience with you today. First, we have Craig Sargent from Public Works.
Good morning, Chairman Porches and members of the board. As you know, my name is Craig Sargent. I work for Yuma County Public Works. I've been there for 5 years. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the U-Lead program this morning. Over the last 9 months, I had the opportunity to grow just professionally and personally through the U-Lead program. I'd like to share what the experience has been to me. I would like to take a moment to share my experience with the U-Lead program and recently completed and the impact it has had on me both professionally and personally. The U-Lead has been one of the most important, meaningful, rewarding training programs I've participated in throughout the program. I had the opportunity to grow as a leader, strengthen my communication skills, and better understand the importance of intelligence in the workplace. What made the experience especially impactful was the opportunity to connect with colleagues, directors, and administrators from different departments, learn from their perspectives, build relationships across the county, and reinforce the value of teamwork and cooperation serving our community. On a personal level, U-Lead helped me reflect on who I am as a leader and a person. It gave me the confidence to be more open, more engaged, and more intentional in how I support my team and carry out my responsibilities. Thank you again for your time and your continued support of this program, like U-Lead. Investing in the leadership and development not only strengthens employees, but also enhances the level of service we provide to our community. I'm proud to be part of the investment and looking forward to applying what I've learned to serve the county.
Well, thank you, Greg. That's
Cool.
Thank you.
And next we have Maria Claudia Herrera from the Welton Justice Court.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Claudia Herrera, and I'm the Chief Clerk at the Welton Justice Court. I have been with the court for 2.5 years. I was hired as a court attendant, and after 1 year, I applied for the Chief Criminal Clerk position and was selected. After a year, my current position became available, and I was fortunate enough to be promoted again. I am truly grateful for my role and the experience I have gained. My background is in the medical field. I spent many years working in healthcare. During my first week of the court, I remember thinking, what did I get myself into? I am a very hands-on person, and working at the court required a different skill set. Reading, understanding, and following detailed notes. I wasn't physically challenging, but mentally challenging. I will never forget my supervisor, Reina, asking me, did you read the notes? I would say, no. Can't you just show me? She consistently encouraged me to read and understand the notes before processing anything. At the time, I doubted myself and truly felt like I wasn't going to make it. I even told my husband I I even told my husband how discouraged I felt and that I wasn't catching on. He reminded me to just have fun, enjoy the experience, and be open to something new. That perspective helped me keep going. I was already a supervisor in my previous role, and when I came to the court, I told myself I wasn't here to stress. I was here to learn something new and serve the people in my community. Reina continued to encourage me, telling me, "You're going to get it." I often asked her, "Are you sure?" I'm glad I didn't give up. Opportunities came my way, and I chose to take on each challenge. I developed a desire to grow within the court. Reina once told me, "You are a good person and you will do great here." I don't often give myself compliments, but today I can proudly say that I am proud of myself. I've learned that taking the time to read, pay attention, and not make any assumptions will take you far. When the U-Lead program came around, Reina encouraged me to apply. I remember saying, "What? Why?" She told me, "Apply, you can do this, and even if you don't become a supervisor, it's the experience you will gain." I am so thankful I listened. U-Lead has given me a new perspective and tools that have set me up for success. I have met wonderful people, learned so much about how our county operates by interacting with my U-Lead class, and gained a better understanding of how to lead effectively. I would like to thank a few people who have supported me along the way. Tiffany Anderson, my mentor, provided valuable advice and guidance. She is truly inspiring and incredibly knowledgeable. My mentee, Daniel Perez, has always been supportive and encouraging, often saying exactly what I needed to hear. Judge Jones, thank you for giving me the opportunity and believing in me despite my lack of court experience. Your patience and kindness make a pleasure to come to work every day. And lastly, Reina, thank you for never giving up on me. You inspire me. I see all that you do and truly appreciate your honesty and professionalism. I once told her I want to be as quick and knowledgeable as she is, and she reminded me that it comes with time. With her 18 years of experience, I know I still have a long ways to go, but I am confident I will get there. To my fellow U-Lead class, I want to share this. Be patient if you are not in a supervisory role yet, and that is your goal, your time will come. I am truly grateful for this opportunity and excited to see what the future holds for me. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Maria, and congratulations.
Thank you. I would now like to present each participant with their certificate of completion. Laura Williamson, HR Training Specialist, is also here with us. We make up the training division, and she will be handing out the certificates, and if they can just please come up and join us. Alba Marron, Lead Legal Secretary, Public Defender's Office. Irma Perez Vizcarra, Senior Assessor Specialist, Assessor's Office. Andrea Calandrino, Substance Abuse Counselor for Adult Probation. Blanca Victoria, Legal Office Supervisor, County Attorney's Office. Brenda Butler, Branch Librarian for the Library District. Craig Sargent, Highway Maintenance Supervisor for Public Works. Crystal Dawn, Appraiser 2, Assessor's Office. Yesenia McCormick, Risk Management Specialist for County Administration. Nora Cortazar, Senior Eligibility Worker, Housing Department. Joanne Munoz, Voter Registration Coordinator, Recorder's Office. Maria Claudia Herrera, Chief Criminal Clerk, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 3 in Welton. And Daniel Perez, Detention Sergeant for Sheriff's Department. And Maritza Ortiz, Interim Budget Manager for Office of Management and Budget, County Administration. Thank you, and congratulations, U-Lead Cohort 2026 graduates. Thank you, Chairman Porches and members of the board. Thank you. And if possible, if we can please take a picture with the board.
Yes, and we'll stand up in the back here, because so we can all fit.
So if you guys.
Maybe-
Yeah.
We can't squeeze anymore. It's too wide. Your commitment. Patrón, patrón. How much it takes two, eh?
Need a bigger one. Thank you, guys. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chairman Porches and members of the board for all your support.
Thank you, Naleli. I just noticed, wow, this is maybe for Ian. You know, out of 7 mentors, we have 6 females. What's going on there? No. Hey, plus all the ones that got their certificates. I mean, that just shows that Yuma County, we got female power, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Naleli.
much.
Moving on to item number 6, presentation of the Yuma County Employee of the Year nominees by Yuma 77, the Yuma County Government Channel.
It's time to celebrate the dedication, excellence, and impact of Yuma County employees who make the community stronger. First, it's time to recognize the nominees for the Yuma County Safety Excellence Award. Their vigilance and commitment to prevention and safety help create a workplace where accountability, trust, and care for one another are part of every day. Crystal Valenzuela, WIC Administration's Assistant, Health District. Alfredo Velasquez, Security Officer, Health District. Luis Serrano Molina, Equipment Technician 2, Public Works. Next, we honor the nominees for the Courts in Yuma County Employee of the Year Award, whose dedication helps uphold the integrity of our judicial system. Bobby Joe Daly, Chief Deputy Clerk of Superior Court, Clerk of Superior Court. With a career defined by innovation and commitment, Bobby Joe has played a key role in modernizing and strengthening the Superior Court Clerk's Office. From upgrading financial operations and launching digital services to improving audit performance and streamlining court processes, she has strengthened the clerk's office at every level. Her forward-thinking approach, commitment to efficiency, and unwavering professionalism have enhanced service to the public and exemplify excellence within Yuma County Superior Court. Elizabeth Castaneda, Probation Officer 2, Adult Probation. Officer Elizabeth Castaneda stands out for her professionalism, reliability, and unwavering commitment to her department and community. Known for her positive attitude, she consistently supports her team and department in every role she serves. As a mentor to new officers, she strengthens the department through training, guidance, and compassionate communication. Her commitment to excellence, teamwork, and public service has made a lasting impact on both her colleagues and the community. Lisbeth Camargo, Family Support Specialist, Juvenile Justice Center. Through compassion, innovation, and a deep commitment to youth and families, Lisbeth Camargo has made a meaningful impact in our community. As a family support specialist, she delivers evidence-based programs that build life skills and support positive change. Through innovative partnerships and volunteer service, she has expanded opportunities for the youth she serves. Her collaboration, dedication, and passion for helping others continue to strengthen families across Yuma County. Now, it's time for the 3rd Annual Chairman's Cup Award. Human Resources for the YouGov Leadership Development Program. Administration for the 5-year plan. Health Department for the Pause and Protect microchip program. Clerk of the Board for Hours to Minutes, the Smart Minutes Initiative. Library District for sensory-friendly spaces. Public Works for Fleet Services Automotive CTE Contest. Legal Defender for Paperless Office. Finally, we recognize the nominees for the Yuma County Employee of the Year Award. Their service and impact truly represent the best of Yuma County. Barbara Diaz, Health Administrative Coordinator, Health District. When challenges arise, Barbara Diaz steps forward. Her nomination reflects a consistent dedication to customer service, operational excellence, and meaningful change. Taking on complex projects beyond her formal role, Barbara improves workflows, enhances safety, and delivers measurable efficiencies and cost savings. Through thoughtful communication and steady leadership during transitions, she has strengthened her department and cultivated a collaborative, high-performing work environment. Alejandro Figueroa, Administrative Director of Economic Development and Intergovernmental Affairs, County Administration. Strategic leadership and public impact set Alejandro Figueroa apart. His work advancing legislative initiatives, securing critical state funding, and building strong regional partnerships has delivered measurable results for Yuma County. Alejandro's professionalism, responsiveness, and policy expertise position county leadership to act decisively on complex issues. His integrity and collaborative approach continue to strengthen public trust and move our community forward. Victoria Gonzalez, Health Services Manager, Sheriff's Office. In a role where excellence and ethics must go hand in hand, Victoria Gonzalez leads with both. Her stewardship of detention health services has elevated clinical standards, strengthened governance, and improved health outcomes for those in custody. Through data-driven oversight, cross-agency collaboration, and compassionate care, Victoria ensures constitutionally sound, accountable services while enhancing public confidence in county operations. Susana Magdaleno, Executive Legal Assistant, Public Defender. Precision, efficiency, and reliability define Susana Magdaleno's leadership. Overseeing operations across 2 public defender locations, she guarantees immediate case assignments and seamless coordination that keeps the courts and community moving without delay. Her innovative staffing strategies and fiscal discipline have produced long-term savings while maintaining exceptional service standards. Susana's steady guidance exemplifies accountability and operational excellence. Caitlin Ratcliffe, Branch Supervisor, Library District. What began as a vision for sustainability became a thriving community resource under Caitlin Ratcliffe's leadership. By launching and expanding the Heritage Branch Library's Seed Library without county funding, she empowered residents with education, access, and opportunity. Her initiative reflects creativity, fiscal responsibility, and a deep commitment to service. Caitlin's work continues to cultivate growth, resilience, and community pride throughout Yuma County. Carly Sandoval, Court Operations Manager, Justice Court Precinct 1. Carly Sandoval's leadership and dedication to the Yuma County Justice Courts have made a significant impact on court operations and public service. Serving simultaneously as Court Operations Manager, Initial Appearance Master, and Civil Traffic and Small Claims Hearing Officer, she strengthened court operations while creating significant cost savings. Her responsiveness, integrity, and dedication ensure timely, fair access to justice and uphold the highest standards of excellence for Yuma County. She exemplifies accountability, trust, and unwavering excellence every day. Congratulations to all of this year's nominees. Winners in each category will be announced at the 2026 Yuma County Annual Employee Recognition Ceremony on Wednesday, April 15th at the historic Yuma Theater. Watch the next episode of The Mix to see the winners revealed.
All right, and I want to congratulate all the nominees and good luck to everyone. Before we move on to consent agenda, I'll go back to call to the public, and we have someone that's wanted to speak to and call to the public. If you want to just state your name and your address and.
My name is Tyler Woodman. I live at 4200 East County 12th Street here in Yuma. I would like to applaud the board for your letter to the commissioner to get the biosolid disposal program shut down. And I also wanted to know that was written in December. Did you guys get a reply to that? If not, is it possible to send one every week until we do? I understand that it is not just the biosolids that are creating flies. The produce disposal has a significant part in that, but we can work with our produce people to figure out some SOPs to get this under control. I talked to a realtor this morning. He had a client on a new build for a home walk away from it. It's got lumber up. They walked away from a $700,000 home because they don't want to live in all these flies. So thank you guys for what you're doing. I sincerely appreciate it, and I appreciate the letter. And another thing, I urge the county to inform our citizens about the dire situation that the Colorado is facing right now. The inflows are looking to be like they're going to be half. We've never seen anything like this. This might be the year that people are going to be asked to not water their lawns. So a lot of people don't know this kind of stuff, and you guys are the ones that are representing us. So really appreciate what you're doing, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Moving on to consent calendar, the following items listed under the consent agenda will be considered as a group and acted upon by one motion with no separate discussion unless a board member so requests. In that event, the item will be removed from the consent calendar for separate discussion and action. And I have items 1 through 19. Number 7, item 7.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to pull items 12 and 16.
12 and 16. Okay.
If nobody else wants to pull anything, I'll make a motion that we accept
I'll second the motion.
Consent agenda as presented with the exception of 7, 12, and 16.
I know.
There's a motion, and I believe
Second.
seconded. All those to approve consent agenda with the exception of 7, 12, and 16. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7.
Number 7, it says
Risk
a water bid
management.
not to exceed $1,276,930.06 for the provision of forensic psychiatry services for the Yuma County Restoration to Competency Program, effective April 1st, 2026 through March 31, 2027. Now, I know I can read the whole thing, and all I want to know is why forensic psychiatry? I mean, I thought forensic was.
We have.
Robin,
do you want to, or who's going to address it?
I mean, I read the summary, and forensic seems to me a misstatement. I mean, the psychiatry services, I understand that. Forensic means to me, once you're dead, then, that you get the forensic explanation. So what's the point here of calling it forensic psychiatry?
Chairman Porteous, Supervisor Reyes, Robin Stallworth, POCAT Assistant
County Administrator. I really don't know if I have a great answer for you on that. This has been, I believe it's the level of service provided for the analysis of, or the psychiatry services provided, but I will look into that, and I've seen that language on some of our other documents with this particular service provided, and I'll get back to you.
I understand the services that are being provided as being the competency, restoration to competency services. I just didn't understand why we call it forensic psychiatry. So I'm not going to hold it for another 2 weeks to find out. I just want you to sort of have an answer for that next time, or maybe I can ask you in private
Mr.
what
Chairman.
it means.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah,
members of the
she
board, I
said
could
that
just
she'll get you
chime
that
in
answer.
briefly. Forensic, this isn't like a crime lab or CSI type of word here. It's more in the legal sense. Forensic refers to behavioral health when in the criminal justice system. So it's a criminal justice system term that's used to address behavioral health concerns.
Okay, well, maybe I misunderstood forensic. It still deals with live people, but forensic to me meant, after you die, then you become a forensic issue. But if it does, I just want to answer that. So it doesn't matter. I'll make a motion. We'll go ahead and approve item number 7 as presented, but,
It's just
again,
more
explain it.
scientific. It's not really death-related. It's just referring to the scientific term. It's hard to explain, but it doesn't necessarily mean death.
Especially
related.
We'll get him the dictionary meaning of it.
I'll second it, Tony, and
There's a motion
we can
and a second
provide some forensics for you.
to approve item number 7 as presented. All those in favor say aye.
There'll be an easy explanation.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Like the explanation would have been, it doesn't mean death. That's it.
Item number 12.
Approve and authorize the engineering director designate to sign a change order for the amount of $157,911, extending the contract between Yuma County and Morton's and Cunningham for expansion renovation. I saw that a lot of that was staging, and I thought that in the beginning of our lengthy discussions at the health department that all staging had been taken into consideration. I also know that we had extensive water damage where I received calls directly from people who were resident occupants of that building, and I just want to make sure that we've addressed all that as well. But I do remember specifically asking the question about taking into consideration the staging, and all that would be accounted for up front.
So what are you saying? You're saying that this charge, we're paying for something that they did themselves?
So I thought that we asked that question prior to beginning because they were going to have to remain intact and be moved around, and that we had taken that into consideration when we accepted that proposal for that building. It just seems like, from my perspective, we've already had this discussion, and now we are presented with a change order.
Oh, who's the engineering director? There he is. So can you explain that?
Chairman Porches, members of the board, Alan Quintero, Deputy County Engineer. The change order that you have here is pretty much was part of some of the things that were not being able to meet. The project initially was supposed to happen in 5 phases. Those phases had to be broken down into multiple phases. Part of the reason there were some provisions that I had made on the contract. One of the provisions is that we were supposed to have space available to move departments. U of A was supposed to relocate a certain time, allowing us to be able to move nursing and some of the other departments. We were not able to meet that, so that caused some of the areas to be divided into additional phases, which require additional mobilization from the contractor. Some of the other things that happened is that we had areas that were out of phase. We had health promotions, tuberculosis, and things that needed to remain in operation, and there was not enough room within the department to accommodate that, so the contractor had to break those areas down. Health department did work with us, with the contractor, to make that happen, but that's part of the reason that the extension of the contract and the added cost.
Did we take into consideration, what about all the water damage during construction? Because walls were left open. I had asked Ian about that last year sometime, when I had received calls directly from people who are located within those departments. Has that been taken into consideration? How do we address that?
Water damage?
Yes.
As far as I'm aware, I mean, the only times we had some water into the building was when we were working on the expansion. That the north side of the building, it was partially exposed, so there was some water coming in. The contractor worked with us. They removed all the damaged areas, all the carpet, anything that got exposed got taken care of. All that got replaced.
I just want to make sure we're not paying for something twice, right?
No.
Okay. And do you feel that it was an error on our side planning-wise, or things that were not taken into consideration, and that's the reason you're asking us for this change order?
There was a couple of factors. I mean, one of them is that we were not able to meet our commitment to be able to free that space for U of A. That's one of them. The other thing, it was probably the phasing. There was not enough square footage within the existing building to be able to reallocate an entire department and allow the contractor to finish the work. So that caused the work to take longer than expected.
I know that was one of the greatest points of discussion and dissension, is that we would make sure that we would not cause any problems for U of A.
My
So
problem
I have reservations because I just thought we had taken all of these things into consideration prior to starting the project.
Yeah, my problem has always been that when you give out a contract and you approve a change order afterwards, then you're not really choosing the lowest and most responsible bidder. You're choosing the lowest, most responsible bidder at the time. But if you approve a change order, that means that should have been taken into consideration when it.
That's my question, Mr. Reyes.
Yeah, I don't particularly like that, but I can understand the fact that things change along the way. I can understand that. Now, when is they going to get done? I mean, I've seen them. I mean, this is like
We're supposed to have substantial completion by this Friday. That's the goal right now. The contractor has been able to finish pretty much majority of the building. Right now, there's only a small portion left. The auditorium and one of the corridors, it's a refresh work, so that's scheduled to be done by this Friday.
I was there last week. It didn't look like they were going to get done by this Friday, but yeah, who knows? Maybe they're working harder than I thought. But I've been out there maybe a few times, and every time I've seen it, it's been like 2 weeks later. But 2 weeks when? What year? What month? I hope to see it done sometime soon, and I hope that the change order doesn't happen often, that you realize that when you give out a contract, you're supposedly taking into consideration all these contingencies. And I know that you can't predict the future, so I understand the fact that things happen that are your control. But it feels a little weird to be approving a change order on a contract that was supposed to encompass all these issues before it's given.
Well, I think we had like Supervisor Lyons said, we had a lot of discussion with this item. I mean, it's just the amount that we have to, we paid for the for 1,400 square feet of new building. I know remodeling cost is expensive, but I think we had this conversation a while back, Ian, with about the, if it was in the contract. I mean, I'm seeing it now and I read it that it was in the contract. I wouldn't have signed the contract if we would have known, if I would have known. But, we can't expect or know the future of another project when we sign a contract, relying on if that building, the other building is going to be done, or it's just.
Mr. Chairman, that was our point in the beginning, that everything was taken into consideration prior to beginning that project, specifically as it pertains to U of A.
It's just, and I think they warned us about the change orders, and I think I read that might be another one.
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that you're aware of.
Mr. Chairman, I'm also wondering why this is just coming to our attention right now, and we weren't made aware of it as these items arose and we were being asked to consider different dates and different types of mobilizations.
I mean, it's almost completion date, you know, and it's just, now we're seeing it. I mean, I think this should have been up about 4 or 5 months ago. And we had a conversation about this.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion to continue our discussions and maybe do a little bit more, ask for a little bit more of a response rather than approving it today.
That's your motion?
Yes.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to discuss this item a little bit more. Can we get some more information on this? Yeah.
Yes.
And
I'd like a timeline if we could get that.
all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ali. Item number 16.
So it makes reference to substitutions or additions to early voting or emergency sites. Just wanted to have that discussion and see if that was something that we were forecasting already. We are approving the auditorium across the street as one of those locations. Do we foresee, and what budget requirements are we going to be asked to consider for additional substitutions for emergency voting sites, early voting, et cetera? I can't approve it without having a budget.
And we have Mr. Recorder, Mr. Lara. Do you want to? Mr. Lara has everything under control.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Good morning, Chairman.
Good morning.
Board. So what I'm requesting here is the use of the year-old auditorium for actually early voting, because we're in the ex-consulate building. It's a little small, and if it gets a little tight, I'd rather not get into that predicament. So I'm requesting to use the old auditorium, and or I also have to have a separate emergency voting location. So I could use either or, but my primary idea is to use it as an early voting spot.
Okay, and I appreciate that, Mr. Chairman. However, it doesn't say and or, it says authorize the recorder to make substitutions or additions. So do you anticipate any additions aside from the site across the street, and do you have a budget for that? I am inclined to approve the early voting and the emergency voting because I realize that you have a deficit of space. However, I'm not inclined to approve any type of substitutions or additions without a budget contingency somewhere in that proposal.
Okay.
If you're going to add additional sites.
No, it would just be the board. I mean the auditorium itself.
Okay, so we need to rephrase that motion, which is item 6A, 16A, to strike substitutions or additions to early voting and emergency sites as necessary.
I think you've got a point. I mean, without a budget, without knowing what needs to be done there, it's pretty difficult to vote on something like this. So voting and using the auditorium is not a problem. I think we all realize that you're going to be moving to a smaller site. But doing the modifications there is going to require, for me, to know what the modifications are. So I would approve the use of the building. It's not a problem. I don't think that's a problem. But you need to understand that if you're going to make modifications, you need to bring in a budget.
Correct. I'll take what I can get.
Okay, so Mr. Chairman, unless there's any other questions, I want to make a proposal.
One question, because I do. It's just using that room, and if it was to, basically, are you asking for additional emergency voting sites or?
No.
No.
My first
That's
idea
what it
was to
says.
use that, excuse me, my first idea was to use that as an emergency voting site, because I was planning on doing the early voting in the current building I'm in now.
Oh, okay.
But that's really small. But realizing it's vacant, then I'm requesting to use it more, actually to use it as early voting site.
That's
So, Mr. Chair.
The
Yes.
month, the
So-
first, that month for that 1 month?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. So there wouldn't be any modifications to the building, anything to spend anything.
Just. My problem has got to be the timing now. This will keep it tied up until November. You can't rent it, you can't lease it because it needs to be used for emergency voting. So you're actually asking us not to lease it or rent it all the way through November, through December, actually, through this year.
Correct.
Okay, so think about it.
Mr. Chairman, Supervisor Reyes, I can just add it a little late. We were working with a broker to either lease or sell that property potentially. Of course, there's a process that we need to follow outlined in state statute. We had an interested party. That party withdrew interest, and so we have nothing on the horizon right now for that space.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chairman, and with the county attorney's approval, I'd like to rephrase that. 16A, establish the previous Board of Supervisors auditorium located at 198 South Main Street, Yuma, as the early voting and emergency voting site for 2021, for July 21, 2026, and November 3rd, 2026 elections. And authorize the Yuma County Recorder to utilize it, or just simply stop right there and cross out to make substitutions, additions to the early voting, emergency voting sites as necessary, because there will be, Mr. Lara is not proposing any additional substitutions or sites.
Or
Clear?
additions.
Does that work?
That'll work.
Okay. I'll second that motion.
And before we go on, I would just caution any department coming forward, if they have a proposal to bring to us, please include some descriptive language for any type of a budget consideration. And this one lacked that, or maybe it just wasn't taken into consideration that sites, because it's plural, was my concern.
True, that's fine. And
Okay.
I understand I wasn't clear enough on that.
Okay, so we have a motion.
There's a motion and a second to,
Strike everything after November 3rd, 2026 with the approval of the county attorney. Elections, I guess, is where we can cut it off.
okay.
Are you guys okay with that? Okay, thank you.
There's a and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Lara.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman,
And
is there?
I will also make a motion that we approve B
Oh,
as presented.
there's a motion. Is there a second?
And there's a second. Okay, there's a second.
There's a second, and all those in favor to approve item B as presented, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to housing, and this public hearing to allow the public to comment on the Yuma County Housing Department Public Housing Agency Annual Plan for fiscal year 2026, and direct staff to attach all comments received to the Public Housing Agency Annual Plan. And we have Mr. Chu Roldan, but anything that you want to add, Mr. Roldan? If not, I'll just go ahead and open up the public hearing. Okay, I'll go ahead and open up the public hearing. I don't see anybody coming up. I'll go ahead and close the public hearing and bring it back to the board for motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the Yuma County Public Housing Agency Annual Plan for fiscal year 2026, and direct staff to attach all comments received. Well, there's no comments received, but all comments received to the Public Housing Agency Annual Plan.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the annual plan for housing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Roldan.
Man, I wanted to sleep.
Adjourn the Yuma County Housing Board and reconvene as the Yuma County Board of Supervisors. Moving on to discussion and action items. The board will open each of the following items separately for discussion and action as appropriate, and we have item number 1. Discussion and possible action direction regarding a potential real property exchange between Yuma County and the city of Somerton for property located at 350 West Main Street, Somerton, Arizona, and a 2-acre parcel in Somerton, Arizona.
Mr.
Josh?
Chairman, before Josh gets on a roll, we had this presentation about 18 months ago, right? With that proposal to consider something for the future?
Yes.
This is the same
This
proposal?
is the same.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Josh Scott, Deputy County Administrator. I did present this during the board and Somerton City Council joint work session back in September. There was no action taken at that time, so I'm here just to go over it one more time and get board approval to move forward with this. So during that presentation, we talked about the board's interest in expanding services to South County and how this would align with that. So the county does own a building in Somerton city limits. It's currently being used as the Somerton Municipal Court. The county health district utilizes a small portion of that building on an intermittent basis for their WIC program. The building was constructed in 1955. It's about 5,000 square feet. And we did have a facility condition assessment done on that building last year. And it's a 70-year-old building, but most of the building systems were in good shape. But we did provide that facility condition assessment to the appraiser. So he did factor that into his valuation of the property. It came back appraised at $650,000. And in any real estate transaction by statute, the board needs to get at least 90% of the value. So that's what we were working with, $650,000. And we've been talking to Somerton about 2 acres in their Parkview development. Option 2 up there has been our preferred option, and that would be used to build a satellite facility that would be used. We envision it being used by multiple county departments to provide kind of the most in-demand services down there. Somerton has completed the off-site improvements to that, so the streets are paved, utilities are in, and the appraisal on that piece of property came back at $605,500. So the difference is $44,500, so we're within that 90% range to where we think we can swap these properties and not have any cash change hands. So the Somerton City Manager presented this information to their City Council last month, and they're very interested in having the county expand their services down to Somerton and South County, and they did give the City Manager direction to continue pursuing the land exchange. So I'm here just to get formal direction from the board to move forward and continue working with Somerton staff on that exchange. We'll probably need to update the appraisals, and then we'll be working with the title company and the county attorney's office on the necessary agreements to make that happen. And with that, I'm open for questions.
Mr. Chairman, pending the approval with the appraisals, I would like to make a motion that we proceed.
I'll
That's a
second.
question. Are those flags supposed to indicate the location of the site?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the Main Street property is the one the county currently owns, and then the one in the upper left is at the Parkview development.
Okay, fine. You were gonna make a motion?
Motion and
I'll
a second to give direction to staff to continue. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Can you, Mr. Chairman, just real quickly for the public's information, can you describe to the public what our ability to, what we're bound by for discharge or the purchasing of buildings according to state statute?
So when the county leases or sells property by statute, they're required to generally take public offers for that, and they have to accept an offer at 90% of the appraised value or higher. So we do need to get market value for our properties. And in this case, you know, it's a small difference, less than $45,000 between the appraised value for the county's building and the Somerton property. So we're within that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Josh. Moving on to item number 2, Grants Department. approve and authorize the chairman to execute an intergovernmental agreement between Yuma County and the city of Somerton for the Orange Grove Rancho Mesa Verde Sewer Infrastructure Project. Diana?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board.
Good morning again.
Thank you so much for presenting that. I'm here to ask for your approval on an intergovernment agreement with the city of between the city of Somerton and the Yuma County on behalf of the Improvement District to be able to make an assessment on the original final design for the Orange Grove Rancho Mesa Verde sewer infrastructure project. This assessment is going to assess how much additional cost it's gonna take to be able to do upgrades to the original sewer line, to our original project. It also takes into consideration moving our lift station that at the 30% design had been proposed to go on top of the mesa, up on the mesa where Orange Grove subdivision is, to move it downstream after the canal in one of those areas. So that assessment is taking all those things into consideration. This upgrade was requested by the city of Somerton. They saw that we were doing a project for the Improvement District in Orange Grove and Rancho Mesa Verde, and it would be they saw it as a great opportunity to be able to see if they could do some upgrades for some future development that they would be having in that area. We did speak to our funder, the USDA, regarding those changes, and they usually don't allow them, and this time they said that they would consider them. So we're just in the preliminary stages. We're just starting to see what those costs will be, and our final design right now is at 60%, and I'm here today to see if you would consider those upgrades.
Let me see if I understand this.
And they're paying for the upgrades?
Let me see
The
if I
city of
understand.
Somerton is going to pay for those upgrades, yes.
Okay.
Let me see if I understand this. The Orange Grove area and the Mesa Verde area are under design, the sewer system. And the city of Somerton wants certain things to connect to their system, which is just normal. So there's a 24,000 additional, 24-something additional cost, and the city of Somerton has agreed to reimburse the county. So we're gonna order the changes, and then the county will get reimbursed to the tune of 24,000 something from Somerton. Is that correct?
To make those changes, to review those changes for that assessment. It's not necessarily it's gonna cost them 24,000 to make the changes. It's just to review the changes of what the
Understand.
upgrade would cost.
This will be Stantec's design. They're under design. So to be able to accommodate those changes, it needs to be in the design. It's not the total cost of the project, it's just the cost of designing it. We're in the design phase. So what we're talking about is $24,575 extra that will cost us to include them in the design. I think that's wise to do this early. So I'm so happy that something's happened in the Orange Grove Mesa Verde area I'll be the one making the motion second. And there's a motion that has 3, A, B, and C, which is the first one is approve and authorize the chairman to execute the intergovernmental agreement. The second one is to review and discuss the consulting services, which we're doing. And the third one is to provide direction whether to proceed with incorporating the proposed upgrades, which will be obviously done if we approve the first two. The third one is kind of an outcome of that. So I'll make a motion we approve item number 2 with A, B, and C as part of the motion. Is that
what? Yeah.
I'll second it, Mr. Chairman.
There's a motion and a second to approve
A,
and
B, and C.
authorize the chairman to execute an intergovernmental agreement between Yuma County and the city of Somerton for the Orange Grove Mesa Verde Sewer Infrastructure Project. Item B as presented, and item C as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Dan. Item number 3, Development Services, Planning and Zoning Division. Discussion and action concerning a possible text amendment to the Yuma County zoning ordinance to limit the number of farm animals or parcels of less than 5 acres, 5 continuous commercial acres that are zone RA and that don't meet the minimum parcel size requirements of the zoning district. Maggie?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Chairman Porchas and board members. This item is a request for a discussion concerning a possible text amendment to the Yuma County zoning ordinance. Attached to the agenda quick item is the memo that was presented to the Planning and Zoning Commission explaining what the purpose of the text amendment is, and also the sections of the zoning ordinance that will be affected by the proposed amendment. Essentially, it's an amendment to section 601.01 of the zoning ordinance, which is the RA zoning district, and specifically item D. The intent is to limit the number of farm animals, the number of large farm animals on properties that don't meet the minimum parcel size for the ag exemption in state law, which is 5 contiguous commercial acres, and that allow an unlimited number of farm animals. So in the RA district, if you have a parcel that is non-conforming, say you have a parcel zoned RA10, and it's only 4 acres, if it's a pre-ordinance non-conforming parcel, they can have an unlimited number of farm animals, large farm animals, because that
Maggie?
is what the RA zoning district allows.
I apologize, just for the point of clarification, what do we consider a large farm animal?
The zoning ordinance has a definition of what constitutes a large and small farm animal.
For the viewers at home, do you remember what that is?
I would have to pull it up in my zoning, on my phone.
No, it's beyond that.
For example, a goat is considered a large farm animal.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, do we have to have large farm animals? Can't we put farm animal, period?
There has to be a distinction because the zoning ordinance has a definition for what is considered large and small farm animals. So there should be a distinction if we're going to limit the number of farm animals.
So, Mr. Chair and Maggie, so they could have 350 chickens on a parcel of 4 acres, because that's considered a small farm animal. And it would still cause issues, so, with everybody around them. Can we put large/small, both, in the ordinance?
Mr. Chairman, the way I worded, the way the amendment is worded is, it just indicates the raising of farm animals shall be limited to 1 animal per 10,000 square feet of side or rear yard area. So it doesn't matter whether it's a large or a small farm animal.
Okay, good.
It's farm animals.
Mr. Chairman, so it's all farm animals, period?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
No rabbits.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Maggie.
That's a bit small.
You're welcome.
Oh, there's.
So do you want the definition of what a large and small farm animal is?
Yes.
So a large farm animal includes animals including but not limited to horses, donkeys, burros, llamas, bovines, swine, bison, camels, ostriches, emu, and other animals or livestock of similar size and type except inherently dangerous, mammals, and inherently dangerous reptiles.
What you can't have is snakes in there.
No alligators.
No alligators, no snakes.
The definition of a small farm animal is animals other than a household pet, large animal, inherently dangerous mammals, or inherently dangerous reptiles, including but not limited to guinea hens, geese, ducks, turkeys, pigeons, not otherwise defined, rabbits, mink, chinchilla, and other animals or poultry of similar size and type. Young or miniature large animals are not included in this definition and are considered large animals.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Don't be thinking of any alligator farm, okay?
I will not.
Snakes.
Any other questions for Maggie?
Nope.
We need a motion for this? Yes.
One more question.
Quick
In
while
it-
you're ahead.
Hold on, just a second.
Large animal.
Continuous commercial acres that are zoned RA and that don't meet minimum, do they have to be commercial acres? Can they just be RA or agricultural? Less than 5
Well, there.
continuous commercial acres. Does it have to be commercial acres, or is it any acreage?
Mr. Chairman, the reason I included commercial acres is because that's the way the exemption in state law is worded for agricultural exemptions. And the commercial acres is 36,000 square feet. A regular acre is 43,560 square feet.
1 acre.
Okay.
It's sort of to meet the state requirement.
So it has to have commercial in there to be able to meet state standard, state
If,
regulations?
if a property meets the statutory definition of being in agriculture and the property is 5 or more contiguous commercial acres, they're exempt from zoning anyway. They have to meet that definition. So in our case, if there's property that is less than 5 commercial acres, then they would have to comply with this section of the zoning ordinance.
Okay, but if they're not zoned commercial, they can have as many animals as they want?
Mr. Chairman, the zoning really doesn't factor in. Commercial is just part of the definition. It doesn't mean that it's zoned commercial.
Got it. That's all I needed to know. Thank you.
Make a motion?
I move that we approve.
Mr. Chairman, the motion would be to return the item to the Planning and Zoning
Planning and
Commission
Zoning.
to initiate an amendment.
Sorry, say it again?
It's not.
To return it to the planning and zoning
Oh, okay.
It's just for
I move that
discussion.
we return this to the Planning and Zoning Department.
for continuation.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to return the item as presented to the planning and zoning. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Maggie. Item number 4, Planning and Zoning Division, review and approval of the Planning and Zoning Annual Report for calendar year 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Maggie Castro, Planning and Zoning Director. This is the annual report for calendar year 2025. Would you like a presentation, or do you just want to address comments concerning the report?
Yeah, just the short one.
Short one, okay.
No presentation, but
summary.
just, you were gonna talk about some,
I have
point
the
out.
slides that show where activity is taking place, and then the differences between last year and prior years. So it's not super long, but this is a 5-year comparison of activities. There was a slight increase from in calendar year 2025 compared to 2024 of 14.5%, as you can see by the two, this doesn't work, by the two columns on the right side of this table.
Same stuff.
This map shows where activity is taking place. As you can see, the majority of activity takes place in the Foothills Planning Area, and then there's also a large portion that takes place in the Yuma Mesa Planning Area, and then a small cluster in the Northwest Yuma Planning Area. So in 2025, there were 5 minor amendments, 19 rezoning cases, 15 special use permits, 18 variances, 2 final plats. In total, there were 59 cases that were approved, which is a decrease of 5% from calendar year 2024. There were 3 text amendments that were approved by the Board of Supervisors. One was Section 602, which is, and then 624.04, and that was concerning backyard fowl. Text Amendment 2505, text amendment to adopt regulations for accessory dwelling units, and Text Amendment 2503, which is the text amendment concerning cargo containers. Projects reviewed by staff, there was a significant increase of approximately 79% in the number of projects and building permits reviewed by the planners in 25 compared to 24. And this increase is being accommodated with the same number of staff. Staff participates in various community outreach activities throughout the year. This year, there were 5 activities throughout different areas of the county. Some at high schools, some at community centers, and then the public information and participation process for the major amendment. The zoning enforcement section. There was a slight increase in total complaints received, and then most of the other categories also increased, except for there was a decrease in unfounded complaints in 24 compared to 25.
Maggie, how do you determine what an unfounded complaint is?
I'm sorry?
How do you determine how an unfounded complaint is?
Mr. Chairman, Supervisor Reyes, when staff receives a complaint and it is investigated by staff, if there is no violation observed at the time of the inspection, that is an unfounded complaint.
Well, it went down, so must be people are learning not to make unfounded complaints.
This map shows where the zoning activity is taking place. Again, the majority of it is in the Foothills Planning Area, and then a cluster in the Northwest Yuma Planning Area. There were a total of 242 zoning violations that were processed by staff. The Building Safety Division. So there's an increase in construction valuations in 24 compared to 25 of approximately 16%, an increase of 28% in new commercial construction permits, an increase of 50% in new single-family residential permits. There was a decrease of 5% in average valuation of new single-family residences, and an increase of 34% in total number of inspections between 2024 and 2025. This map shows where, again, the building permit activity is taking place. Majority of it, again, is in the Foothills Planning Area, and Yuma Mesa Planning Area, and the Northwest Yuma Planning Area. This is the table that shows information concerning the Environmental Programs Division. There was an increase in all categories except the drinking water and design approvals, and the decrease in number of complaints for the Environmental Programs Division. In the Permit Services Division, the Permit Services Division is still working with the permitting technology that was implemented about 6 years ago. However, Craig is working on setting up a new program. They're still in the process of getting everything set up and implemented, and I'm thinking that from what I've heard from Craig is towards the end of the year, the new program will go online. It's through OpenGov.
Will that increase the, Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Maggie, will that increase the time, will it increase the time that it takes to get permits, or is it supposed to decrease the time that it takes to get permits, and how?
Mr. Chairman, permits are reviewed by staff. The program just enables the automation of that review. And then applicants can also download information concerning their applications online.
Oh, good. But they can't get permitted online yet?
Yes.
They will be, okay.
All right. Any other questions or comments?
No? Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve the report for calendar year 2025?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the calendar year 2025 report for calendar year 2025. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Megan.
Busy, busy. It's gonna get busier.
Yeah.
Moving on to planning and zoning agenda. Full legal descriptions of property sites for all rezoning cases are available for public review at the Yuma County Board of Supervisors office. We'll go ahead and go to rezoning, regular public hearing items. Staff will make a full presentation on each of the following items, followed by a separate discussion, public hearing, and action by the Board of Supervisors. Item number 1, rezoning case number 25-23.
Good morning, Richard Munguia, Senior Planner.
Good morning, Richard.
Good morning. Would you like the full presentation?
Well, the MCA is human, is going to complain, yeah.
Okay, so this request is to rezone a parcel. It's 10 gross acres in size from RA10 to SSB2. It's located at the northeast corner of Avenue 4.5E in the 45th Street alignment. And the intent is to create 5 parcels for residential development. The subject property is identified in the crosshatch in red. That's zoned RA10. Blue is zoned SSB2. Tan is SSB5. And the green is RA10 as well. This is a site plan provided by the applicant. This shows their intent if the rezoning is to be approved. And this would be the split. This is an aerial photo of the property. Comments were received by MCAS. We had 1 letter in opposition that came from a neighbor within the notification radius, and they were opposed to any development obstructing view from their property. Staff is recommending approval based on the request being in compliance with the comprehensive plan, subject to the following performance conditions and schedule for development shown on screen. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Richard. Any questions?
Mr. Chairman, it said that a letter from the CO would be forthcoming. Have we received that letter? It's in our packet.
Correct.
Yes, go ahead.
I'd like to read something, please.
1 sentence?
No?
No? Okay, go ahead.
Oh, my goodness. You know me better than that. Hold on.
She's a school teacher. She's got to say it all.
Uh-huh. Just a minute.
Start the clock, please. I'm just kidding.
I'm coming.
Too late now.
This is in response to correspondence seeking comments for rezoning case 25-23. And it's specifically the applicant has a parcel of approximately 10 gross acres located in northeast corner of 4.5 U and 45. Let me get down to the part. The requested development is within the 65 to 69 decimal noise contour acknowledged by Marine Corps Air Station Yuma, City of Yuma, and Yuma County since 1978. Residential development is incompatible under revised statute 28-8481, paragraph J, and the Yuma County zoning ordinance 706-04. In addition, Marine Corps Air Station air installation compatible use zones program discourages residential development in the 65 plus dB noise contour. Moreover, the Yuma County 2030 Comprehensive Plan, Section 3, page 11 states, it is the position of the Attorney General that pursuant to ASR 28-8481, F&P, that the Attorney General, opinion number 108-003, no new residential development within the high noise or accident potential zone is allowed unless the subject property had a building permit issued, had a residence constructed, or was approved for residential development under the terms and condition of a development plan prior to December 31st, 2024. And the letter goes on, but the intent of the high noise and accident potential zones and associated noise contours is to protect public health and safety and reduce incompatible development, which may hinder military operations. Therefore, MCAS Yuma requests denial of the Yuma County Planning and Zoning Board and the Board of Supervisors. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Can you read that again? No, just kidding.
You want to do what?
No. Thank you.
My hearing aid,
Any
sorry.
other questions or comments for Rick?
I have a comment. Mr. Munguia, Antonio, Antonio, do you represent the Marine Corps Air Station? But there's some development already
I'll
there.
open it up to the public.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, he's not the public, but it's okay. I'll ask him in the public section.
For Richard, any other questions or comments?
Well, there was a question about why is it that this doesn't fit when the ones next to it are already approved and they're within the decibel zone? Because they were done before December 31st?
Potentially, yes. I'm not sure of the history of the parcels that are surrounding, but potentially that could be the case.
I see a lot of development around the side, so I wonder whether it all happened before this new rule came into place, and then we have to follow the new rules. So I just wonder if you knew whether it's 724-1909, 724-19-0010, 724-19-011. I mean, those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are 5 sites that are right next to this property before you get to.
The staff is recommending approval.
I know. That's why I asked him if he knew. The staff doesn't seem to know whether those were done before December 31st, 2024, because now we have rules.
Those were done after the 2008 ordinance,
Mr. Chairman?
correct?
There's a few parcels that were rezoned in 2017. It would be parcels 724-19-009 through 013.
That was the answer to the question.
And
It
then,
happened before December 21st, December 31st of 2024. This all happened before then. Okay, I got my answer. Thank you.
Okay.
parcels 724-18-005 through 008 were rezoned in 98. 009, 0010 were in 2019.
And the Planning and Zoning Commission voted 6-0 in favor of this.
Mr. Chairman, with the approval of accessory dwelling units by the state and putting that into law, how many additional structures could be built at 724-19-002 being subdivided into 5 lots?
Each parcel can have one principal dwelling, one attached accessory dwelling unit, and one detached accessory dwelling unit.
So essentially 3 homes on each.
If it's over,
thought it
I
was
believe it's 1
4.
acre, it can have an additional.
Maggie's coming up. Drum roll,
Ready, ma'am.
please.
Mr. Chairman, that would be true if the property was not in the noise zone. This property is in the noise zone, so that same allowance does not apply to anything in the
In the high
65 decibel noise zone.
So that takes care of that.
Let me ask
But
you a question.
it eliminates any opportunity for accessory dwelling units.
Mr. Chairman, they may be able to apply for a variance, but it's not something that would be allowed by right. Same with approval of the zoning. If the board approves the rezoning to SSB2, before they can establish single-family residences on these properties, they will have to get approval of a variance by the Board of Adjustment.
May I ask a question relating to the structure itself? Because I was under the impression that if you live within a certain decibel zoning, your structure has to be noise attenuated. Is that still the case?
Mr. Chairman, anything in the noise zones and anything in the territory in the vicinity of a military airport requires a noise attenuation for single-family residences.
Mr. Chair, so Maggie, I'm going to repeat this so I understand it. If the property is in the 65 or above decimal, auxiliary dwellings that would be added to it have to have a variance, have to get in a variance. We don't automatically allow them to have, how many, 3 additional?
I keep seeing a little hand in back saying 4, so how is it possible that they could have 4?
The original and 3 others, right?
Mr. Chairman, if this property were not in the noise zones, any parcel that is if a parcel is larger than 1 acre, they can have the single-family residence, an attached accessory dwelling unit, and a detached accessory dwelling unit, plus an additional dwelling unit. So up to 4 dwelling units could be established on properties that are not in the noise zones, on properties that are 1 acre or larger.
Is the applicant here?
Yes.
I guess my question is, knowing that we've got, Mr. Chairman, the 65 decibel noise zone to consider, would they be willing to sign a pre-development agreement precluding that none of those homes would ever come back and ask for the ADUs or any exceptions? And would that be compatible and agreeable to MCAS? Or is it just a sum total no? Looking for a way to move forward?
That would be something for legal, huh?
Yeah.
Because
Mr.
I
Chairman,
don't
we
know
have
if
to
we
defer
can
to legal
try out,
counsel
yeah.
for that.
I would be willing to consider it if they did a pre-development agreement saying that that none of the parcel owners would have the opportunity or ability to come back and request anything from the Board of Adjustments, Board of Supervisors, Planning and Zoning, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
May I say something about the variant board? I mean, the variant is supposed to be given only for certain circumstances, things that can be changed, things that can be moved. This is one of those things that I don't think applies to a
Mr.
variant.
Chairman, the criteria for an airport Board of Adjustment is different than the criteria for a regular variance.
Let me ask this question again, because the possibility that they can build four structures in a 5-acre parcel, well, this is a 5-acre parcel itself, the possibility exists, but it still would require a variance, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so to get a house built in this area, it would require a variance. Is that correct? Any house,
Yes.
just the first house. So it will require a variance every time that anybody wants to build on this property, and that would be in the escrow documents.
I'm sorry,
Well, my concern is that people buy without knowing. And the escrow documents are the only thing that protects the buyer from any of these situations where you have to, for example, if I was to buy a 1 acre site and I went and bought it thinking that I can build a house in there without a variance, I would be wrong, wouldn't I?
A house without a variance?
Well, would I?
you, in a way, it has to be disclosed that the property is in the noise zone, and that is done through the escrow process.
So it will be disclosed in an escrow process that you need a variance to build a house.
Well, that the property is in the noise zone.
If it's in the rural area in a 65 decibel zone.
In the noise zone, yes. Specifically for this case, staff is recommending that an abrogation disclosure statement be recorded so that that comes up during a property search.
And we're only giving them 60 days, right? Right-of-ways. I've always had that question about right-of-ways. What if you can't determine this time it takes you to get a right-of-way? For example, you can't determine what the federal government is going to take, or the state land. Well, you can determine what the state land department will, but there are some agencies that you cannot determine how fast they're going to move, and they can take 6 months. They can take a year. So right-of-ways, I don't understand why we have a 60 days approval of the Board of Supervisors. The owner shall record right-of-ways. That means the owners, what's under the owner's control. You're talking about the owner dedicating the right-of-way, right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair, Maggie, this brought up a question for me. Those 4 parcels, if they were to be split, those parcels, if they were to be put into those
There's 5.
5, sorry, those 5 parcels would have to get a variance to be able to build on them?
Yes.
Okay.
They can get either individual variances or they can get a blanket variance for all 5 parcels.
Okay.
I'm sorry, they can apply for
A
individual
variance.
variance or a blanket variance.
Mr. Chairman, the question remains, would they be willing to sign a pre-development agreement excluding or voluntarily giving up the right to add the 3 additional structures, even the attached? Can we do that?
So that's a question for the owner.
Yeah. And the owner, and the owners, and legal, and the owner's present.
All right. Any other questions for staff?
Mr. Chairman, it appears that a requirement for the pre-development agreement would not be allowed.
Can I ask why?
It will
Yes.
be conditional.
It's codified in state law. It specifies that the county cannot restrict that.
If it's permitted under the zoning, then we have to permit it.
So how do we ensure that we limit encroachment at MCAS and give the homeowner the ability to take his investment and?
With the variance?
That is the
Mr.
question
Chairman,
right there.
again, like I stated, if the SSB2 zoning is approved by the board today, they would have to apply for a variance to be able to build single-family residences on this parcel.
At the variance stage, can we limit their ability to do those types of improvements?
No. The zoning ordinance already limits that, already has a restriction on accessory dwelling units for parcels in the noise zones.
So the state will not apply for this?
The state,
5 acres.
then we can bypass that,
Yeah,
right?
so only a variance will approve.
Mr. Chair and Maggie, so all I'm asking is, these 5 parcels could have 1 home per every 2 acres, but because they're in the 65 decimal, the state law that says that you get 3 additional auxiliary dwellings on a piece of property would not apply, and they could not put on or add additional dwellings on their property, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Even if they went to the Board of Adjustments, they can't get one granted.
At that point, if they applied for a variance, I believe that staff would be inclined to recommend denial of that request.
But it would still go to the Board of Variances.
They may
Board
be
of
still,
Adjustment.
yes, they may be able to still apply for a variance. Mhm.
And would that come back before us? And would that limit us going back to the state law in the ability to
No,
decline?
It goes to the Board of
Go
Adjustment.
ahead, Maggie.
Mr. Chairman, no, variances do not come before the Board of Supervisors.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to deny then.
Well, let me open up the public
Okay,
hearing
go ahead.
and, no more questions for staff? All right, thank you, Maggie and Richard. I'll go ahead and open up the public hearing. Anybody that,
This is strong. I was gonna ask what's so strong, but.
While we're ahead.
Tag team.
Mary Ellen Finch, Community Liaison Officer at MCIS Yuma, accompanied by Antonio Martinez. Before I hand it over to Antonio, just a quick, so as Supervisor Pancrezi very graciously read most of the letter that the Colonel sent, this restriction has been in place since 2004. This particular owner of this parcel purchased this property in 2011. So well recognizing the fact that there is that restriction for development within the 65 decibel. So I just wanted to add that along with, and I don't know if Antonio wants to do his whole presentation, but.
I do not.
Don't do the whole presentation.
Antonio Martinez, Community Liaison Specialist for MCS Yuma. Thank you for having us. I just want to mention thank you for everything that you pointed out of the letter, and that's exactly what we look at. We look at the Arizona State, Arizona Revised Statute 28-8481, and that's where we gather our info, and that's where we put the limitations on high density within the noise zones. So it's not something that we do coming from the federal level. It's actually something looking here within the state that is the guidance for the noise zones. So thank you for reading the letter and mentioning all the points that we kind of made from Colonel Stone and the air station.
Any questions? Thank you.
And then really quickly, this will be my final Board of Supervisors meeting, sorry. I'm retiring at the end of the month, so thank you. So we are in the very final phase of our selection, which of course I am not able to share, but Antonio will continue to take up the mantle until a decision is made on who will replace me. But I want to thank the board and staff for always working with us and encouraging us to review and comment on cases that could impact the mission of the air station. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Ellen.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Mary
Good
Ellen.
luck and
Appreciate
enjoy
your
retirement.
time here in Yuma.
Anybody else?
Members of the board, I'm Raul Garcia, 10561 East 36th Street. My client wants to rezone this parcel to divide it in 5 parcels, and the zoning is in compliance with the surrounding area. Actually, it's in the middle of the SSB2, if you see the aerial. The zoning will allow us to, or will allow the owner to build a house, and they will have to submit any variance they need to, and they will go through the agency, and they will see if they can accept the additional dwelling or not. I don't see anything different than any other house around it. They will provide the right-of-way required for access and some easements for canals and additional roadways. People in the area were very happy to know that we will have and establish some CCNRs, and those things can be, they will be strict CCNRs, so they will know the square footage, the levels, additional dwellings, or anything else that we need to put in the document to prevent any additional items that people will not like it in the area.
Any questions for the applicant?
To me, this is a typical one where the horses left the barn, but, I mean, And since 2024, things changed. No, I don't have any questions for you, just a comment.
Mr. Chair, I have
Yes.
another question.
For staff or who?
For staff.
Okay, well, thank you.
Excuse
Thank
me.
you.
Can you clarify if any of the parcels that are already developed in that area are also in the 65
You can,
dB, and if so, were they established before 2008 or whenever that 65 dB was established?
Most of the parcels shown on the screen currently are within the 65 decibel noise zone.
Okay.
There are a few that have been established after the 2000 and whatever year it was. There was some that were in 2019, some in 2017.
any developed after 2024? December 24?
I'm sorry,
Any developed before, after December 25?
2004.
2004, sorry.
I thought it was 2024.
2004.
So additionally, I wanted to let you know that the Arizona state law stipulates that this section about regarding accessory dwelling units does not prohibit restrictive covenants or shared well agreements entered between private parties. So while the county specifically can't restrict accessory dwelling units, that doesn't necessarily mean, the potential is there that they could be restricted by CC&Rs. Additionally, Section H says that this section doesn't apply to lots or parcels that are located on land that is in the territory in the vicinity of a military airport or property that is in a high noise or accident potential zone.
Read that again, please.
Okay. The Arizona state law that specifies the addition of the accessory dwelling units, Section H says that it does not apply to lots or parcels that are located within the high noise zone or accident potential zone, or land that is in the territory in the vicinity of a military airport.
Okay, so they can't do it anyway. They can't put auxiliary dwellings because it says in statute that you can't, because it's in the high noise zone of, Mr. Chair.
Correct.
High noise zone of a military facility, correct?
Mr. Chair.
That is my interpretation.
Okay.
I withdraw my motion.
Well, because I had
but
to
just
open, yeah. Any other questions? Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, can we require CC&Rs? You mentioned it. Can we require CC&Rs?
We cannot.
Can we?
Looking for me, nope.
I don't think so.
I see Maggie saying nope.
I don't think we can enforce that.
I'll say no to that.
So you mentioned CC&Rs. How do we get to a yes on that?
I think it's limited enough.
The CC&Rs would be something that's between two private parties, and I don't believe that the county necessarily would be involved in that process.
Yeah, I have no enforcement authority either.
Mr. Chairman, Maggie Castro, we may be able to require it during the land division permit process.
Say that again?
We may be able to require CC&Rs during the land division process review.
If not, we don't approve the division.
Well, it would be addressed during the land division process.
Any other questions for Maggie?
Mr. Chair, I don't have a question for Maggie. I do for the gentleman who
Okay,
is
well-
representing the seller or the owner or the,
I'm bringing back. It's
Please.
Still open, it's still, the public hearing is still open.
Mr. Lopez, right?
No.
What was your name again?
Raul Garcia,
Garcia, thank you.
members of the board, Raul Garcia, 10561 East 36th Street. Thank you.
Okay. And you indicated that your owner that you represent.
Agent.
Oh, that you're the agent for
The client,
the client, and the client would agree to CCNRs.
yes. And that's gonna go, as Maggie said, when we do the lot split, application. Lot
Okay.
division permit.
Thank you. That helps.
Anybody else from the public? Seeing none, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing and bring it back to the board.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve.
Rezoning case 2523.
Yes, sir.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to approve rezoning case number 25-23. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to item number 2, rezoning case number 2524-24.
I think we're gonna get a challenge from the Attorney General every once in a while.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Jesus Carrillo, presenting rezoning case
Oh,
25.
it was about the other case, and my comment was that eventually we're gonna get something challenged from the Attorney General's office.
We'll wait for it.
Thing goes down.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, would you like a full presentation?
No, just brief.
Just a brief?
Just, yeah.
Yeah, so the intention for Mr. Galvan is to rezone his property from R140 to MHS 20. The intent is to place a manufactured home as a primary dwelling, since the R140 does not allow manufactured homes. And this is the zoning map. The property, it's, and the subdivision that it's zone R140. Across the street from Citrus Drive is, the parcels are currently zoned MHS 4.5. And this is the site plan that was submitted by Mr. Galvan. And this is the aerial imagery. The side of your property, it's all in blue. Here's another aerial imagery. Staff received one letter in opposition from an owner of 2 properties within the notification area. And the property, it's, the 2 properties are highlighted in red. Planning Commission recommend denial of rezoning case 2524. And that concludes staff presentation. Are there any questions for staff? And the applicant is present.
Any questions for staff? Thank you. I'll go ahead and open
I have
up
a
the
question.
public
I
hearing.
should-
You have a question for staff?
I have a question for staff. Why didn't this owner request just to change the zoning? I mean, instead of lowering the size? Do you know, or is it?
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, the MHS 20 is the only zoning that will allow manufactured home that is the highest. We don't have an MHS.
We don't have a mobile home zoning that goes to 40,000 square feet. That's what you're saying, right? You have to go down to 20. Is that what you're saying?
20,000 is the minimum square footage of the lot.
Minimum or maximum?
Minimum square footage of the lot. Minimum
Well, the
square footage.
maximum. I understand the minimum allowance, but why would you,
You
why
can do
would you?
10,000, you can do 15,000.
Maximum, then it's the maximum.
20.
10,000 is the maximum.
20.
20. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll go ahead and open up the public hearing. Anybody from representing or the owner? None? Anybody? Or,
I'll make a motion to approve.
hold on.
Is somebody coming in? Oh.
First time here, and that land that I bought 2 years ago, I was in Colorado, never told me that not allow double wides. And as came last year, see place a new septic tank, $50,000, and water from the city. So,
So, are you Jesus Galvan Perez? ¿Necesita que lo traduzcamos o quieres?
Como si me ayudas, ¿sí?
Seguro que sí. So I'm gonna go ahead and translate what, so basically what he said right now is that he bought this property, but he never told them that he couldn't or rezone or change. But sí sabe que puede hacerlo más, o sea, casas, ¿verdad? De low density residential, o sea, que vienen siendo, what's the square footage on the low residential?
40,000
40,000?
square feet. That's the minimum lot size.
That's the minimum, los más de 40,000 pies cuadrados son los lotes que puede para hacer una casa.
Mr. Chairman, there was a conversation with the applicant in the office, and we mentioned to him that he will be allowed to do a single-family residence regardless of the size of the house. There's no minimum square footage for the house to be, so he can do a 400 square feet if he desires to do so. We give him those options. Unless the board decides to approve the rezoning to MHS 20, then in that case, he will be able to allow to install a single-family a single mobile home, single white manufactured home. So that was mentioned to him on the office.
So sí le explicaron cuando se juntó con ellos en español, les entendió. Sí, okay.
Pero la cosa que nunca me dijeron cuando lo compré. Y metí septic y agua.
Sí, desafortunadamente en los papeles cuando uno compra una propiedad, si no dice ahí lo que puede hacer antes de averiguar o comprar, es donde pues a varias personas nos agarran, ¿verdad? Que son las cosas que están en los papeles que están de escritura. And he's referring normally what to put on record that he said he didn't know, when he bought the property.
What about the property that he could put on?
Which is basically, it's not recorded on the,
He's saying
when you buy in a property, and so it doesn't disclose and what you can do or can't do on paper, on recording. So, what's the process? What can he do if we deny it?
Mr. Chairman, he will be allowed to build a single-family residence. Regardless of the size of the house, he can apply for building permits.
¿Sí entendió eso? O sea, puede hacer una casa del tamaño que quiera, pero o sea, nomás una en esa propiedad.
Una pregunta. No me pienso ir a vivir ahí porque yo tengo donde vivir.
Ajá.
Bueno, me rento, pero tengo un RV, lo puedo parquear ahí, no voy a vivir, lo prometo.
Did you understand that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, so his question was if the county will allow him to just park an RV on the property. The answer to that question will be no, because that will be storing vehicles without a principal dwelling on a property that is currently zoned for single-family residence. La respuesta sería no.
No. Ajá, es que no puede usar ese local para almacenar.
Tengo que vender.
Pues puede ser casa o lo que usted.
El problema es que no puede poner una trailer. The problem is you can't put a trailer there. Tiene que ser una casa porque todas las propiedades al norte de ahí, todas son casas. Entonces hay mucha gente que se opone porque piensan que cuando se permite una trailer se va a reventar esa restricción, pues ya no va a haber restricciones. So I'm just explaining to the gentleman that anything north, that you can see a lot of mobile homes on the other side, but they're double wides, and that anything north of Citrus, it's It's been developed into houses.
Son casas.
Son casas. Sí, pues, y tiene mucha posición de la gente de alrededor de las casas porque piensan que, they think that if you allow a mobile home, it'll break the cycle. So, ese es el problema. Y estábamos discutiendo el asunto que no le dicen a la gente cuando compra los terrenos. ¿Qué puede hacer o qué no puede hacer con los terrenos? Ahora puede construir una casa en 40, no tiene que cambiarle de zona, nomás construir una casa. Es un acre. 44,000 pies es un acre. So I'm explaining to the gentleman that he can build a normal site-built house, and rent it. It doesn't matter, but it's got to be a site-built house. It can't be a mobile home because of that situation being north of Citrus. Correct?
Yep.
¿Otra pregunta o algo?
Yo que hacía una casita chiquita y la rentaba para sacarle lo que le metí. If it was up to me, I would build a small house and rent it. I'd try to get...
Un cuarto.
Un cuarto no importa. Un estudio no importa.
Okay.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Thank you. He's saying one room, and I said, well, it doesn't matter. You can build a studio.
Any other questions for
Has to be a site
for
built.
staff?
No.
No? Okay, and anybody else from the public? Seeing none, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing and bring it back to the board.
I'll make a motion that we deny the zoning case 25-24.
I'll second that motion.
There's a motion and a second to deny rezoning case number 2524. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 3, rezoning case number 26-01. Mr. Rosa.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Javier Barraza, Senior Planner, presenting rezoning case 26-01. This is a request to rezone a parcel that has 10 gross acres in size. The parcel number is 747-36004, and the rezoning will be from RA10 to SSB2, site built, 2-acre minimum. This project is located in the Yuma Mesa planning area, northwest corner of County 15 1/4 and Avenue 3E. And the intent, again, is to create 5 2-acre parcels for residential development. This is a zoning and vicinity map showing the subject parcel crosshatch at the center of the map. Properties access on the east along Avenue 3E and along the south, County 15 1/4 Street. Parcels on the north, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are zoned suburban site built 2-acre minimum, which was rezoned to SSB2 last year. They're in agriculture at this time. Parcel number 3 is zone RA10. Located, there's an improvement or a house built in 1971. And then we have parcel 15 to the northeast in agriculture, zone RA10. We have parcels 10 through 14, zone suburban site built 2-acre minimum in site built development. Parcel to the southeast is in follow, zone RA10. Parcel on the south is in agriculture, zone SSB2. And finally, parcel on the west, zone RA10 in agriculture. This is an aerial view on the subject parcel outlined in red. This is a view from 2022, and it shows current development. This is the site plan submitted by the applicant. It's providing an access and utility easement to provide access to the parcels on the back. A view looking south at Avenue 3E. Now looking southwest at the parcel from northeast corner. Now looking northwest at the parcels from southeast corner. Looking at the County 15 1/4 street alignment from the southwest corner of the parcel. Now looking west at the west boundary. No comments received from residents, and we also received comments from MCAS, not objecting. Okay. It's outside the noise zone.
I saw that night.
Yes. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommends approval of rezoning case number 26-1, subject to the following performance conditions listed in this slide. Also to the schedule for development, and within 2 years of board's approval, they need to build the access utility easement according to Standard B. Number 2, they need to get a letter from a licensed engineer stating that the road was constructed according to Standard B. Also, they need to provide a letter from the irrigation district stating that the subject future parcel will have access to irrigation water. And also within 2 years of approval with the board, the property shall be split by means of a land division permit. Mr. Chairman, that concludes staff presentation, and the agent is present.
Any questions for staff?
What's, staff, let me ask, what's the minimum number required for you guys to think of it as being within the plan?
What?
Well, it's 275 out of 300 points. So what do you use as a?
If it's 275 through 300, it's probably staff will, it meets all the, checks all the boxes in a good way, and it will be more, one of those type of requests that will be recommend approval. And then 250, I don't know the exact number in the middle, is like we have to look at it, has some redeeming qualities to the project, and it's something that needs to be discussed. So this was in the high numbers.
Oh.
And if it's a lower score, we will probably should recommend denial on this.
You recommend an approval?
We recommend an approval on this. The Planning Commission is recommending approval, Mr. Chairman.
Right. So this is within my district, so I'll open it up to the public and see what they say.
Nobody wants to talk to you.
Again.
You want to open it up, or?
I want to open it
I'll
up.
go ahead and open up the, thank you, Mr. Barraza. I'll go ahead and open up the
Staff.
public hearing.
Planning Zoning Commission.
Anybody from the public?
Kevin?
All right, go ahead.
I knew it.
Somebody was
Just for
gonna
fun.
get it.
Oh, you don't feel alone, Supervisor Reyes.
What's the difference on this one and the other one?
So this one, perfect example. So this one is outside the 65 decibel.
Outside.
Don't be too loud. It is, but it's actually within certain, so 3E is close to the range. But we requested a navigation disclosure and a range disclosure because for some reason, everybody in Foothills thinks that we automatically go from the airfield, and then we just kind of like Star Trek, we just like show up at the range. So we have flight paths that we take, and some of these areas are louder than others because we have our variety of aircraft traveling through those flight paths. So this is one of those areas that they might get noise more from the range than the actual air station. And that's what makes a little bit of a difference. But it is outside the noise zone, so we do not object.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
get it, I
Good
get it.
explanation, thank you.
Those F-35s are pretty noisy, but it's a noise of freedom.
Anybody else from the
Irrigation
public?
easement will be kept, so we're looking at Lynn. Irrigation easement will be kept, so that there'll be irrigation to the side. That's important in this area.
It does have it will have irrigation, correct?
That is correct. They will need to provide
Provide
means of
irrigation.
irrigation and access to water for irrigation.
Thank you.
I'll close the public hearing and bring it back to the board for action.
I'll make a motion, we approve rezoning case number 2601.
There's a motion and a second to approve rezoning case number 26-01. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Barraza.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Moving on to legislative issues, we have Alejandro.
And since, Mr. Chairman, since Alejandro is in the running
I don't
for
remember you were like a candidate for.
one of the
Employee
employees of the
so
year, I would suggest
Be
brief
careful.
brevity.
Listen up.
tread
A
lightly.
brief.
A brief.
Tread lightly.
Show us some love, Alejandro.
Absolutely. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Alejandro Figueroa, Economic Development and Intergovernmental Affairs for Yuma County. I'll give you a brief presentation about the legislature and what's going on with the governor. So we'll start with the governor. Governor Hobbs recently released the Arizona Energy Promise Task Force report, which was developed following Executive Order 2025-13. The task force was created to bring together stakeholders and subject matter experts to identify ways to improve affordable, secure, and reliable energy access in Arizona while addressing barriers to future growth. The report contains 31 recommendations and is especially relevant as Arizona continues to see increased demand from large commercial and industrial users. A key focus is creating a policy framework that allows Arizona to remain competitive for investment and economic development while also protecting families, small businesses, and other ratepayers from absorbing disproportionate costs. So moving on to the state capitol, legislature has now moved past the committee phase, which is a significant point in this session timeline. With committees no longer meeting, the remaining bills will move through floor action, rules, and caucus. That also means the process becomes less predictable since those agendas are often not available until the day before. At this stage, the number of bills still in play has dropped substantially. Of the more than 2,100 bills introduced earlier this session, only about 1/5 remain active. That should make the overall workload more manageable, even though the path forward for individual bills may be harder to anticipate on a day-to-day basis. The next major deadline is April 17, which is the last day for bills to be heard in conference committee. Those committees are used when the two chambers disagree on amendments and need to negotiate a final version of the bill. There was also recent discussion around the possibility of a prolonged recess. That appears to have lost momentum, with more attention now focused on avoiding the appearance of a stalled or inactive legislature. That may help keep legislative activity moving over the next several weeks. And then a couple of bills that we're tracking for the board, and I'll start with SB 1419, which is the solar energy inspection contractors, backed by Yuma County. The bill managed to pass the House Natural Resources Committee on March 17. Strictly on party lines, there were 2 Democrats who voted present and 1 no. They're still waiting for the solar lobbying or solar industry to express their support to the bill. They're currently neutral. We've held already 4 stakeholder meetings with with the solar industry already, and we're looking at a 5th pretty soon. There's a lot of going back and forth regarding the definition of what a roof is, and if it should only cover, yes, I know.
Nobody called me, Alejandro.
You want to help him with that, Supervisor Lyons?
My gosh.
So yes, they are disregarding any protection on or liability on gazebos, solar panels located or installed on gazebos, or other structures that are only meant to provide shade. So yeah, that's one of the main issues we're facing. We're trying to make sure that they're not trying to pull a fast one on us and trying to get advantage and just open up a Pandora box. So yes, these have been very interesting and contentious at times, but both sides are working to find resolution, and we're close to having them support us finally.
Thank you for your work on that, Alejandro.
My pleasure, sir. And thank you for recommending Jeff, and Alexis also has been great along with the CSA staff. HB 2324, Fire Code, Municipalities, County Buildings. That is sailing through the legislature with support from both sides of the aisle. It also got approved by the Senate Regulatory Affairs Committee on the 18th, March 18, and then by the Rules Committee on the 23rd, and it passed majority and minority caucuses on the 24th of March, and it's awaiting COW at this point in time. One bill that I had mentioned to you in the past and had to do with elections, which would imply Yuma County moving or changing its operations from voting centers to precincts, is now officially dead. That is not going to happen. We were going to be, spending a good $12 million every 7-year cycle. So that's dead. And it's so dead that they've used that for a striker bill that Supervisor Lyons was helping us oppose with his contacts up in the legislature. He actually emailed the legislators. HCR 2016, which is now a striker, places a moratorium on local fees and taxes. It would impose a rigid statewide freeze on local taxes, fees, and utility rates from July 1st through 2026 through June 30th, 2030, regardless of local conditions or service demands. So we're hopeful. It's being supported along party lines, so we're not expecting the governor to support it. But again, this is a resolution, so we go to the ballot. But we're making progress thanks to the help of Vice Chairman Lyons and other state legislators who are not in support of freezing local taxes. One bill I'd like to bring to your attention, and also has to do with elections, and I want to thank Assistant County Administrator Robin Fouquet and Kika on their support on this, understanding this one a little bit better. And so this one refers a constitutional amendment to voters to tighten Arizona election rules by requiring voter ID at the time of voting, restricting foreign election spending, shortening the early voting window, and adding new conditions for receiving mail-in ballots. However, the last amendment and the Senate fact sheet that we got this bill would require Yuma County to invest around $600,000 for on-site tabulation equipment. Another unfunded mandate. So staff is suggesting opposition to this bill. I would like to ask the chair and the board if they would provide guidance on this one, or if you'd like to take a position on it.
I'm not in favor of shortening the early voting window and or adding new restrictions. So to me, it's easy to suggest opposition, but I am also not against amendment that requires IDs. So it's kind of it encompasses too much to me. If it's separated into easier things, it would be easier to support or oppose it. Now, I don't want to be seen as opposing early identification, citizenship identification, because that's not the purpose. But if this one requires that you have changed the election rules, then I think I would oppose it.
Any other comment?
Mr. Chairman, if you have any questions, we have Robin here in the room. She's been great, and she stayed for the whole meeting. And so if you have any questions.
I thought it was just because she enjoyed being here
I
with
thought
us.
she liked us.
I mean, didn't know there was an ulterior motive. Mr. Chairman, I'd love to hear from Robin and get her perspective. Please provide some color.
Chairman Porches, members of the board, I've talked with Alejandro quite extensively about this. This morning, our elections director is out of the office today, so kind of stepping in to fill in any blanks. But the part that we were struggling with was the investment of approximately $600,000 for on-site tabulation equipment. And I just want to clarify that that's because ballots are programmed, ballots that are voted on-site at a vote center, our tabulators on-site are programmed to tabulate those ballots. We don't have or deploy, we have equipment that stays within our facility for early ballot tabulation. We don't deploy early ballot tabulators to the vote centers. If we needed to do that, that would require an investment in individual tabulators to go out to each of those vote centers, plus probably a few just backup pieces in the event we had a failure on site. To simplify it, we would have to deploy an individual early ballot tabulator, plus employ a board to receive those early ballots on site and tabulate them separate from the activities that are occurring in the vote center for election day voters.
See, this is where a lot of people get confused. Ballots are separate from elections, or the...
Chairman Porches, members of the board, yes, they're programmed differently and they are kept track of differently. There's lots of reasons for that, but there is reporting through EAC that's required to, we're required to separate those through the tabulation process. So that's why you'll see, when you see results, you'll see how many early ballots are tabulated and how many election day voter ballots are tabulated.
Mr. Chair, and Robin, how much are those tabulators a piece?
there's different options, but the program that we currently use, approximately 55,000 for
A
each,
piece.
50 to 55,000 for each of the tabulators. There would just need to be a decision made on what type of tabulator. I'd assume we'd want to use a fairly
The
small one.
best, yeah.
Yes, and we don't need something that's high volume. We keep a high volume tabulator on site here at the facility for early ballots, so those are tabulated in batches. This would just need to be a single tabulator, much like the ones you already see at the vote center. They'd be the same, actually. They would just need to be programmed to accept that early ballot and read it accordingly.
Okay, Mr. Chair, one more question, Robin. So all rural counties, I mean, all counties with this HCR would, SCR would be required to have those at an extensive expense.
Yes, Chairman Porches, Supervisor Pancrezi, that's correct. I don't know, I don't believe we've polled the other counties to see if they have additional equipment that could be deployed as early ballot tabulators. We can separate out tabulators from the current stock of equipment and assign those for early ballot, but we would need a minimum of 9 plus a backup. And if we remove those from the election day tabulation, it would cause delays on that side. So in order to balance all of that, I assume all of the counties, it's fair to say all of the counties would need to either arrange to use current equipment or purchase new equipment, depending on how they're set up for deployment currently.
And Mr. Chair and Robin, there's nothing in this HCR that said the state would pay for it.
Mr. Chairman, I am
Okay.
all for requiring the voter IDs and restriction for election spending. It seems to be that this is an aggregate bill, and a lot of these things should have been separate out. But then, as Supervisor Pancrezi has pointed out, if the state would like to require these things, then the state needs to fund them instead of putting the burden on the counties.
Exactly.
Because what that would entail is us going back to the taxpayers saying, we're going to raise your property taxes in order to pay for this mandate that the state has given us. So
Yes.
we want election integrity. The state wants to tighten it up, that's wonderful. Please provide the funding mechanism in order for us to do that. Oh, and in light of the fact that they are trying to restrict our ability to make any modifications to our taxes, et cetera, it's kind of a catch-22. And if both were to pass, then it would require significant tightening of the belt and/or layoffs, further compromising our ability to provide people to carry out the elections or other areas of service to the county. So, again, state needs to fund it.
And just, I mean, every time, when someone registers to vote, you gotta show an ID. So that's taken care of when they register to vote, so.
Mr. Chairman, would the board like to take a position or allow the associations to take the lead on this one?
We want to support election integrity, however, we don't want to pay for it, right? I mean,
So we can oppose as written? Can we do that? Or
oppose as written, I would say that.
Yeah.
All right.
And if you would clarify for the associations, we want to support election integrity, however, the state needs to.
Provide us the funds to be able to do that.
Yeah, especially if they
Along with
mandate
the
it.
other bills that they want to pass through with so many precincts. I mean, that would, if that was to go through, I mean, it would require not only 600,000, but maybe $6 million or more. They can send us that money right now.
That's right.
Go ahead, Alejandro.
Alrighty, thank you. Now, on the federal side, on April 3rd, the White House released its fiscal year 2027 budget request for the
Mr.
federal.
Chairman? Mr. Chairman, there was a motion and a second. Did we have a voice vote?
Oh, did we?
To oppose.
Okay, there's a motion and a second
To oppose as
to
written.
oppose as is presented? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you for that. On April 3rd, the White House released its fiscal year 2027 budget request for the federal fiscal year beginning on October 1st of this year. The proposal calls for a 10% reduction in non-defense discretionary spending, or about $73 billion. This reflects the administration's priorities, but is only a proposal at this stage and would still need congressional approval. According to NACO's analysis, the proposal is concerning for counties because it would eliminate or reduce several major programs tied to housing, community development, emergency management, economic development, infrastructure, public safety, and rural assistance. The budget also proposes cuts to federal emergency management agency non-disaster grants, United States Department of Justice state and local grants, clean water and drinking water state revolving loan funds, homeless assistance, National Institutes of Health funding, the Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, and election security grants. The main takeaway right now is that it's an early federal budget proposal, not a final action, but it signals potential risk to funding streams that matter to counties and rural communities like Yuma County. Moving on to more positive news, Yuma Proving Grounds' national role was highlighted last week as NASA launched its first crewed lunar mission beyond low Earth orbit in more than 50 years, while the U.S. Army underscored YPG's contribution through its test of Orion's parachute recovery system. This serves as a reminder that Yuma County is home to federal assets that directly support national significant missions in defense, aerospace, and space exploration. And lastly, a significant federal infrastructure milestone took place in our region recently with the opening of 60 new northbound vehicle inspection lanes at the San Luis Land Port of Entry, which began operating on March 27, 2026. According to GSA and CBP, this expansion doubles northbound vehicle inspection capacity. It is intended to improve security, reduce congestion, and provide a more efficient crossing experience for residents of San Luis and Yuma County, as well as the millions of travelers who rely on the port each year. Now, I understand we still have a staffing issue, and we continue to advocate for the federal government to provide the resources to be able to keep those 16 lanes open at all times. Unofficially, Homeland Security has offered 100 CEP officers to the Office of Field Operations in San Luis, or I should say to the San Luis Port of Entry specifically, not just OFO. So we have 100 promised at this point in time. That would not make the cut, but it's better than nothing at this point in time. And that would conclude my presentation to the board, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions for Alejandro? Thank you, Alejandro.
Thank you, and congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work, Alejandro. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Summary, current events.
Okay.
Lynn?
I met with Leeward Renewables about a solar project out next to White Wing Ranch that we already, they bought it from the company that we had already approved a solar project, but my understanding is they want to expand from there. So a few concerns about that. I met with, went to the CSA Board of Directors meetings. I went to Medium County Caucus after that. I met with the governor as part of the CSA Executive Committee, and we urged her to work with the legislature on making sure we don't get any sweeps from her funds or transfers of responsibility and funding because their budget is so tight, and they like to pass things that require us to pay for them. So we talked about that and about somehow getting the governor's office and the legislature into budget negotiations. And there was some other thing, and I can't remember what it was right now, but it'll come to me. A YMPO meeting, and I went to visit YPG, and am always amazed at what I learn every time I go out there. I've been out there, well, probably half a dozen times, and I went out again and learned even more. So you have no idea how vital YPG is to the security and protection of our military forces. That's it.
Mr. Chairman, I had several different meetings last week, or the last few weeks, primarily discussing air and water, and met with and had a conversation with water users regarding some of the proposed agreements with the basin states, and those continue to be stalled because of the competing interests. Had the opportunity to meet with the EPA and the SBA out at YPG and MCAS to determine their costs, if they complied with everything that ADEQ has asked them to do within the PM10 non-attainment zone. Later that week, at the invitation of the President of the United States, had the opportunity to attend meetings in the White House, where I met with the EPA Director of Air and Radiation and the intergovernmental administration within, or intergovernmental affairs, sorry, within the White House, where I talked about Yuma's water, what we represent, our produce, talked about the PM10 requirements and the additional challenges that we are facing with the fact that Pima County to our east and Imperial County to our west have been given exemptions from EPA, and I have asked for a transnational and national defense exemption, and I'm hoping that those will be forthcoming. I also had the opportunity to sit down with Congressman Juan Ciscomani, and I shared with him a package of Yuma's federal priorities that Alejandro put together for me, as well as all of the aforementioned issues that we've been discussing. We have an advocate with Congressman Ciscomani. He used to be Governor Ducey's Southern Arizona legislative or Southern Arizona office representative. Next day, I had a meeting with Congressman Gosar and his chief of staff, where I shared with him the Yuma federal priorities, as well as talking about water, air, and he said he was going to follow up with the White House and agreed with the proposals that we had put forward. And then participated in the Chairman's Cup presentation with you. Had probably 6 or 7 additional calls about water, and then celebrated Easter with my family. So nothing much.
And went to YPG?
And went to YPG with the rest of the board.
Mr. Simmons?
It was a slow week.
So you attended Foothills Rotary meeting, also met with Leeward Solar, reference to some expansion out in East County. Attended the Lincoln Day dinner, held a community meeting in the Foothills, met with the Foothills, some of the Foothills precinct committeemen. I'd like to thank Colonel Nelson and his staff for the job they did on taking us around and showing us YPG and everything that they do. It's remarkable. You don't think that much goes on out there sometimes, but there is a lot. And numerous other meetings with people. Also, Ian, if we can, on the next meeting, could we get an update where we're at on the U of A expansion on their building?
You bet. Will do.
Okay, that's it.
Well, I'll begin with the international stuff, which is, again, thanks to Alejandro, we were able to go to the first lane of the first block for the Mexican port of entry, which is a big deal in Mexico. The governor of Sonora was here, and the mayor of San Luis Rio Colorado was there, and so was the mayor of San Luis, Arizona. And then after that, we took a tour of the border. well, much after that, and ask the questions that you all want to know about the staffing, which is, they've been assigned a certain number of people, over 100, but it's going to take them at least 6 to 12 months to get trained and ready for their positions. While they think of opening the port of entry within the next month or two, going south is an easy thing. Going north, I think, is going to be a little more complicated because the excess impact what's happening in San Luis, Arizona. I went to the Greater Yuma Port Authority meeting where we still have no real answer from the city of Yuma about their participation and their support. I guess it's been an interesting time with the Cesar Chavez situation in San Luis. So I guess that should be it.
Did the YPG tour. It was very informative. That's my first time doing that tour there at YPG. Also did that border tour, and they told us pretty much what Mr. Reyes said about there's 200 CBP officers being hired, and 100 of them are coming to San Luis. So hopefully it'll take about a year and 2 months. Attended YMPO, was with the governor when she visited the agricultural center. They gave her a tour of the Ag Center, Research Ag Center. That's it. Ian.
Thank you, Chairman. Many board budget meetings. Meeting of the Arizona Counties Insurance Pool Board of Trustees. Attended the ULEADS participants' final presentations. YSIPTA board meeting. Appeared on What's Up Yuma radio show. Participated in Emergency Operations Center tabletop exercise. Participated as a judge for the 3rd Annual Chairman Cup competition. You see the cup over there, waiting for April 15th when it'll be bestowed upon this year's winner. Met with Welton Town Manager Richard Marsh. Of course, attended Yuma County Officials Day at Yuma Proving Ground. Attended the Library Volunteer Appreciation Event. That's an annual event. Presented to the Somerton Rotary Club about all the great things Yuma County is doing. Attended a 2022 FDA Food Code Adoption Information Session put on by the Health District. And a reminder about Wednesday, April 15th, 3:30, Board of Supervisors special session. It is the Years of Service and Employee of the Year ceremony down the street at the Yuma Theater. Thank you.
Ian, what's up with the treasurer? A little more information about that would probably be in order. Not openly, not as a discussion item, but I'd like to talk to you about that. That's an elected official, the treasurer, so we gotta tread lightly with her.
Thank you.
All right, meeting adjourned.